Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. We're here, we are alive, we are well. Thanks for joining me on a beautiful day. Check out the shot from Clearwater Beach. It's gorgeous, and that's going to be the theme over the next couple of days. It's pretty nice. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. If you can't, let me know, and we shall adjust accordingly. I'm going to try and make sure I see everyone's comments. I believe there's probably not going to be too many comments today just because there's just not too much to talk about, at least locally here. Like Donna said, good morning to you. Looks beautiful out there. It is. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I know a lot of people actually took off today, so good job for that. Because you can spend a lot of it outside and really soak up that sunshine. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know where you're watching from as well. We can try to get hyper local here, but I'm just going to tell you right now, there's just not much going on this week, which is good for us. But we still have a couple of things to discuss. I know there's been some chit chat about tropical development later on this week, so we can talk about that. Really, there's still not much to talk about there. But we'll talk about what we're seeing near us and what could impact our weather over the next several days out. But for today, there's not really much going on. Hey, David, he said, what's going on? Sunshine and warmth. That is the name of the game today. So it's looking good over at Clearwater. Here's a shot everywhere. I'm gonna fade this in. A few clouds lingering around, but that's really about it. We have really dry air over us, and that will help to suppress any rain today. So we have a great, great day to get outside. I like clouds because it blocks some of the sun, especially on a really hot day like this. So we do have some clouds in the mix, but it's going to be helpful. Just make sure you layer up that sunscreen and protect your skin because we have blasting sun. That sun angle this time of year is very strong, very bright. Hey, Glenn said it's beautiful out there. It really is. Check out our current temperatures across the area. Not a bad start, especially at the coast where we're still seeing a few upper 70s, but we're pretty much in the 80s across the area at this time. Are very close to the 80s. 81 degrees in Tampa, the dew points. That's the story that I really love to talk about today. So they're in the 60s right now. I think that's a little off. Let's go to the main dew point map here because it's comfortable. It's comfy, comfy, comfy. Let's look at this. So current dew points, 60s and 50s across Florida. That's very dry air over us. And even this morning, if you stepped outside, it was still kind of warm, but if the air didn't feel as heavy, as humid. And so that's going to be the story over the next couple of days. Slightly comfortable air moving in here, still rather dry across the area. You can see that low spinning off of the eastern seaboard. That has raised some discussion over the last few days. But overall, we stay dry. So here's your forecast planner over the next 12 hours here. We're going to climb up to near 90 once again today. Yesterday was hot. Even though we had a high of 88, felt a lot hotter than that, at least to me. So for today, a very similar day compared to yesterday. A few more clouds in the mix compared to yesterday. Yesterday, we barely had a cloud in sight. But still, the sun pretty much dominates throughout the rest of the day. We fall to the lower 70s, upper 60s tonight under mostly clear skies, and we start all over again tomorrow. And it's going to be still a bit on a breezy side today. And Melissa, good morning from Parrish. Good morning, good morning. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody. But the winds will be kind of breezy today. We have low pressure and high pressure very close to each other. So we have tightening pressure gradients as we get into the rest of the week here, especially for late Monday into Tuesday, so just keep that in mind. If you're going to be doing any boating activities, the water will get a bit choppier as we head into the next couple of days. You can see this is Tuesday morning. I'm going to speed it up to a time where most people are awake. There we go. This is around 6 o'clock. You can see those winds are zooming out of the east-northeast rather, around 15 miles per hour, but gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour, even 30 miles per hour in some spots. So the breeziness will stick around over the next few days here. You can even see, look at that, those yellows there, those pops of yellows as we get into Wednesday. So the winds really aren't letting up, at least through the middle of the week. Keep that in mind. But that's pretty much going to be in the main. I wouldn't even call it a threat, just kind of an impact here on our forecast, especially if you have any boating plans or if you're going to be heading outdoors. Not really the best hair day, especially if you have hair like mine. It's going to be whipping through the wind. So, your marine forecast today, moderate chop, a wind out of the northeast. Then from the north at 15 knots. No advisories for you today, but small craft need to exercise caution later on tonight and heading into Tuesday. That moderate chop will become more choppy as we get into the next couple of days. Just keep that in mind. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty nice. Check out the dew points as we get into the next few days. On the lower side, so 50s and 40s. I wouldn't say 40s, but dew points in the 50s. That's very, very comfortable air. Now as more moisture sneaks in here by the end of the week and into next week, it'll start to feel a little more like Florida. And with that increasing moisture, we have a better chance for showers as we head into next week as well. You can see here in our precipitable water, that dry air, that's very, very comfortable. I have no idea why we just stopped it at Monday. I have to adjust that for the next forecast here, but I did want to show the moisture pooling in here. And this is one of the reasons for the additional moisture as we get into next week, and also why maybe some people were thinking, oh, could be, maybe a tropical system heading into next week. Oh, I just talked about this with the weather team. I'm going to write up an article about it today. But this is what we're looking at. We have this blocking high well to the north of us, and then we have low pressure just kind of within that, or at least just to the south of that, trapped in below that blocking high. As that area of low pressure gets further south, they were thinking, I think some forecasters are probably thinking that it could tap in to the Gulf Stream and then have maybe some tropical development characteristics. Right now, this low is a cold low, just a frontal low. And as it gets further south here, yes, it will tap into some warmer air, but at this point, there's not looking like there's going to be much development at all in a sense of tropical development or even subtropical development as we get into the next several days. But what it will do for us is push in some additional moisture as it continues to push to the west. Now, that could bring us a few showers, even with this colder low, some colder air way above us in the atmosphere could lead to some stronger storms, potentially some hail with some storms as we get into the end of the week. It's looking like mainly for the eastern coast of Florida. Let's go back. Mainly for the eastern coast of Florida and for the interior counties. I think most of the area, in fact, stays dry as we get into the end of the week, but we will start to feel a little more humidity as that moisture starts to move in. That's pretty much it for this area of low pressure. It is not going to really do much, or it looks like it's going to form anything significant. It's not going to be our first storm of the year. It's not going to be one of those early developmental storms before the official start of hurricane season. But it is something to keep our eye on, mainly in the sense that it could bring us some increased rain chances as we get into the next few days. But it's just not really looking like it's going to be much or anything at all, really, for us. Kind of one of those typical lows that just kind of sinks south and brings us some additional moisture. That's it. So, speaking of rain, here's our rain panels for the next 5 days. You can see zilch. That's pretty dry. Now, I'm thinking as models start to look at this low and kind of incorporate that into the forecast here, by Thursday into Friday, those rain chances could spread more so inland. You can see a little more, might see a little more greens on this map as we get into the end of the week. But really, my thinking is most of us will stay pretty dry over the next several days. Just those winds will be on the stronger side, and the temperatures will be nice and warm each day. We're going to be above average with highs close to or flirting with 90 each day this week. So, not really much going on here in a sense of weather. Here's your 7-day forecast. 90 today, tomorrow, high 89 degrees, near 90. You can see the breezy icons still stick around at least through Thursday, and then those rain chances bump up a little bit. 10% on Thursday. Don't expect a lot of rain at all. Isolated shower, maybe even a sprinkle, but mainly for Polk County, Hardy, DeSoto, and Highlands in areas east. By Friday, they go up a little bit more, 20%, which isn't that much. And through the weekend, about a 10 to 20% chance for rain, isolated showers, definitely not a washout of a weekend at all. So the next several days look to be pretty good, pretty dry, definitely great conditions to get outside and not have to worry about any tropical development at all. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be here to answer them for you. I know there's just not really much going on for the next few days here, so I feel like I'm rambling because I'm just talking about sunshine. But it's really going to be quiet, so that's a treat for us, especially for this time of year when we have these lower dew points. Even though it's going to be nice and toasty, that's still a treat. It's not as humid, and we'll take it. I don't know about you, but I'll take that. You see this area of low pressure swirling on the eastern seaboard. Pretty benign, pretty benign, and there's a lot of dry weather throughout much of the country. Goodness. All the way up and down the eastern seaboard is dry and comfortable. And even throughout the Midwest, very dry. Now you see those winds surging into the Midwest from the southeast. That is more moisture pumping in to the Midwest. Of course, that may mean a few additional storms as we get into the next couple of days here. Very spring-like situation for them, but we stay pretty quiet. Gail said, wow, 90. I know, Gail. I feel you. I felt that wow. That's hot. But you know, it's this time of year. It's supposed to be hot. At least it's not going to be incredibly humid. That air you can wear. It's not really going to be like that this week. So, you know, I got to look at the little things. But for now, that's it for me. I'm going to be back on here at 4. We can talk a little bit more about what we're seeing in the tropics. There is one little wave out very, very far away from us. Off of the coast of Africa. That's fun to look at for now, and it's pretty typical for this time of year to start to see those waves, those areas of low pressure coming off of the coast of Africa. Just gives us a little hint as to what we can expect for hurricane season. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about potential development or no development at all near us here in the United States at 4. So if you have any tropical questions, you can save it for the 4 o'clock forecast here, and we can get down and dirty with that as we get into the second half of the day. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to leave it on, if I can find the Clearwater Beach shot, because it was so beautiful. Tee-hee, there we go. I'm going to leave it on this shot for a few minutes, a couple seconds. If you're indoors, you need to get away. Look at this. And I will chat with you all later. Gail said it's cloudy here in Oregon, praying we continue to stay wet to keep fires out of Oregon. Yeah, Gail, I remember that. Those fire seasons are awful. It's pretty dry here. It's kind of feeling like Oregon here, surprisingly so, even with the lower dew points. It feels kind of like West Coast, kind of. Not, I wouldn't even say it. It's so dry over there. But yeah, it's dry and sunny for today, so enjoy it while you can, and have a good one. I'll see you all soon. Bye.